Facing off in Adelaide, Usman Khawaja had one thing in common with Joe Root and with the English bowling attack. All three could have stamped their influence on the second Ashes Test from the first day, in conditions where they know how to prosper. All threw the chance away by doing the opposite of what they know to be successful. For Khawaja, he was returning to the scene where he had played his finest Test innings, that statement century a year ago against South Africa. A day-night match, a lively pitch, and quality seamers had been the factors in a match-defining 145 across 3 days. His Sheffield Shield work matched that standard. Leading into this game he averaged 30 runs more against the pink ball than his career mark. When I analysed that innings last summer, the key component was restraint. The left-hander's pet shot is the cover-driven 4. Against South Africa, he placed it in quarantine. Knowing the moving ball risked an edge, his offside work against the 3 fast bowlers totalled 3 singles and 3 twos. His boundaries came from waiting for mistakes, at which point he pounced to score from glances, flicks, and pulls. This year's innings started the same way, scoring his 4s against short balls, while the offside boundaries came from hitting with Moeen Ali's off-spin. There was one exception, a back-foot force from Chris Woakes pitching short enough to obviate the danger of movement. Straight after the dinner break, Khawaja did switch back on. With his score on 53, he got a full angled ball from Jimmy Anderson and went through the line at it. Away from his body, bat angled, the instinct Hed denied so well. The ball decked a touch and that was enough to bring in gully. Khawaja has never yet stamped his influence on an Ashes Test. His 37 at the SCG back in 2010 may have filled several broadsheet pages, but that was due to commissioning oversight rather than significance. This was his chance. When the laws of probability reclaimed Steve Smith without a century, Khawaja could have still been there to play the senior hand. Instead he had exposed Pete Hadscomb and Sean Marsh in the evening session at 4 for 161. That said, England had already blown a chance to stop Khawaja right at the start. The last couple of years have detected a vulnerability to spin, especially to straight balls that come onto the stumps. In Gala in 2016, Khawaja was clean bowled twice in the same day to off breaks delivered from around the wicket at the lefty. At the Gabba last week, England tried the same trick and Moeen had him legged before. Supposed vulnerability can definitely be overinflated. Batsmen make low scores between a third and half of the time. If you bring in an off-spinner every time a certain batsman arrives, sheer volume of opportunity will create dismissals to that bowling type. But it's still something that might play on a batsman's mind. Get them nervous about continuing a possible trend, make them play differently. When Khawaja came to the crease, Cameron Bancroft had just been run out, then David Warner was worked over by Stuart Broad deliveries that missed the edge and took the PAD. It was a nervy time.